The first intermediate period came to an end with the beginning of the Middle Kingdom, when Upper and Lower Egypt were reunified midway through the 11th dynasty. The ruler traditionally credited with this reunification was Mentuhotep II, whose throne name can be translated as Unifier of the Two Lands. The early Middle Kingdom was characterized by a system of dispersed rule along the Nile. Rather than exercising absolute authority, the pharaohs shared power with local elites, including landowners and provincial officials. These local leaders were no longer willing to surrender all prestige and authority to the crown. Instead, political power was negotiated and distributed more broadly than it had been during the Old Kingdom. To stabilize this new political order, the Middle Kingdom rulers established a small standing army. These pharaohs were capable generals who used the military both to maintain internal order and to expand Egypt's borders. They kept the nomarchs under tighter control, and over time a professional class of administrators became increasingly important to the functioning of the state. This shift is reflected in the archaeological record. During the Middle Kingdom, nomarchs began constructing elaborate tombs for themselves, signaling both wealth and status, but within a system still subordinated to royal authority. During this period, Egyptian religious beliefs also underwent significant changes. Egyptians increasingly came to believe that all people, not just kings, could achieve immortality by leading just and moral lives. As a result, religious thinkers sought to define more precisely what constituted a just life, producing lists of moral rules and ethical teachings. Over time, some writers even explored the idea that a person might not need to live a perfectly moral life, so long as the soul could successfully defend itself before the judges of the afterlife. This belief gave rise to funerary texts and tomb paintings that guided the deceased through the afterlife, showing what the soul would encounter on its journey and explaining what it needed to say during the final judgment in order to attain immortality. The strong and stable government of the Middle Kingdom brought centuries of peace, prosperity, and relative stability, until this order was shattered by an unexpected external threat. Around 1630 BCE, Egypt was invaded by a foreign people known as the Hyksos. The Hyksos were Semitic peoples from the region of Palestine, whose military skill and advanced technology allowed them to defeat the more numerous but technologically outdated Egyptian forces. Around 1660 BCE, the Hyksos crossed the Sinai Peninsula, occupied the Nile Delta, and effectively took control of Lower Egypt. Rather than ruling all of Egypt directly, they forced the pharaoh in the Delta to submit and required the nomarchs of Upper Egypt to pay tribute. Their rule functioned more as a protection regime than as a complete occupation. Egypt had long been protected from foreign invasion by natural barriers, leaving it unprepared for the Hyksos. The invaders introduced new military technologies, most notably the horse-drawn chariot, the composite bow, and bronze weapons. It is unclear whether Egyptians made significant use of the wheel before 1700 BCE. Transport was typically done using sledges pulled by oxen or donkeys. Horses in particular appear to have been introduced by the Hyksos. By contrast, Egyptian military technology had changed little since the Late Stone Age. Most weapons were still made of stone, and although bows existed, they were largely used for hunting rather than warfare. Hyksos archers mounted on fast-moving chariots easily overwhelmed Egyptian infantry on the battlefield. Despite this initial defeat, the Egyptians proved to be quick learners. Within a few generations, the rulers of Upper Egypt had mastered Hyksos technology. Periodic rebellions weakened Hyksos control, and by around 1550 BCE, the Egyptians succeeded in driving them out of the Delta. The Middle Kingdom was also a crucial period in the evolution of Egyptian religion. Whereas Old Kingdom religion focused heavily on the pharaoh and his divine role, Middle Kingdom religion broadened to include a growing number of gods, temples, tombs, and priesthoods. Religion and politics increasingly mirrored one another. As political power became more distributed, so too did religious authority. In this way, the Middle Kingdom reshaped Egypt's political, military, and religious foundations, setting the stage for the emergence of the New Kingdom and Egypt's age of imperial expansion.